Yo, what's happening? What's going on? Where do I begin? Where do I start? When I moved to Charlotte for the first time was in 2009. And I stayed in a one-bedroom apartment. That one-bedroom apartment was $865 a month. Now, the apartment complex that I lived in, it was pretty nice. It had a volleyball, area where you could play volleyball at, tennis court, indoor basketball court, fitness center, a laundromat like on the site, you know what I'm saying? Inside the complex, a trail that you could walk around, in the community. It was pretty nice. You can rent your own garage and everything to put your car, whatever goods and things that you had there, but it was pretty nice, man, for $865 a month. Now, fast forward in 2025, the average rent for a one-bedroom apartment in Charlotte is $1,500 a month. We're talking about the average rent. We're not talking about somewhere, living in South End, Valentine, South Park, other places like Huntersville, Morrisville, the Noda area. We're not talking about those affluent areas, so to speak. We're just talking about, just the average place to live in Charlotte. In order, when you trying to get a one-bedroom apartment, it's $1,500. Now, to live in a place like Uptown or South End, man, a one-bedroom will run you, please, and it's a cubbyhole. Taking heat. You're going to be living in a cubbyhole. It's going to run you anywhere between $1,800 to $2,300 a month. And that's crazy. And the amenities that I got for $865, you may not even be able to get that. Oh yeah, and I had a pool too, access to a pool. So things have changed, man, dramatically. In comparison to when I first moved to Charlotte in 2009 and where it is right now in 2025. And I'm so glad that I got out of Charlotte just in time. Just in time. Before the bubble popped. And now, Charlotte got a chip on his shoulder. And that chip is, they're the 14th biggest city in the United States. So now they get to charge big city prices if they haven't already. So if you think that the one bedrooms and the two bedrooms and the three bedrooms and the houses are too expensive now, it's not affordable now, wait until a year from now, a year or two from now. Straight up. I look on Charlotte News and it's just the typical shit that's going on in Charlotte. Ain't nothing changed. Somebody got shot in East Charlotte. Another car wreck. Somebody died on I-77. Somebody got shot last night in Betty's Fort, on Betty's Fort Road. Just saw a couple of days ago, they talked about this, but I think this happened on Mother's Day, or Mother's Day weekend or something like that, but they're just now talking about it. You see what I'm saying? Or I'm just now finding out. Some dude shot another dude over burnt biscuits, and I think it was what was it at? I think it was Bojangles. It's like, this is crazy. Two managers arguing. I think it was a manager or a supervisor, something like that. Both of them work for Bojangles. They arguing over burnt biscuits, and the dude, I seen the footage. One of the dudes smacked the hell out of the other dude or punched him, and then the guy went back and then he pulled out, and then they didn't show the rest of it. Still just regular stupid shit happening in Charlotte. And it's crazy because it's like, why am I going to pay outrageous prices in a place where I don't even feel safe at? Straight up. They doing all of this building. Welcoming in more transplants and pushing out more charlatans. The crazy thing about it is, all of this building that they doing, they're still not putting a cap on this violence. Charlotte is extremely expensive. But things are still the same. It's crazy. It's crazy, and I'm just glad that I got out of there. You know, I lived in the Still Creek area, and I just saw that the area just becoming, if it's not violence that you're dealing with in specific areas in Charlotte, then, you know, you may be living out in the suburbs, you know, then you got to deal with the traffic. You got to deal with the traffic. Being able to get out of your house and get to where you got to go and get back. It may be you just going to the grocery store. Back in the days when I first got to Charlotte, there was no problem with me hopping on I-77 or 485. Going to where I got to go. Wasn't really no traffic. Nowadays, this shit is ridiculous. I was living in Still Creek, and I would just to get outside, you know, to get to, like, you know, Rivergate Shopping Center where there's a Harris Teeter, Publix, or Breadwick, you know what I'm saying, where there's a Harris Teeter and an outlet mall and all of that shit. It took minutes because Still Creek Road will be backed the fuck up. A normal trip, me leaving from my house to the grocery store to either going to Breadwick or Rivergate shopping area, it would take probably about 8 minutes. But due to traffic, that shit turned from 8 minutes to 15 to 20 minutes. And I know a lot of you charlatans will be like, man, you know, you complaining and you saying this and you saying that. I get it. I understand it. But what do you think about how we feel? You know, us charlatans that were born and raised there. Like, how do you think, you know, what do you think about how we feel? And I'm going to tell you, I feel a certain kind of way, but I can't imagine how you all feel, because there's like memories upon memories. You know, when I first got here, not here, but I'm saying in Charlotte in 2009, you know, they just had cut the ribbon for the light rail, you know, to operate. Eastland Mall was still there, but it wasn't like how it was before. The stories that I got from other people of how Eastland Mall used to be, that's not what I saw when I got there. You know what I'm saying? It was already gone. And I mean, I walked in the mall, but it, you know, all of the, like, you know, popular stores and stuff it was already done. You know, when I got to Eastland Mall, it looked more like a flea market. You know, when I first got the Charlotte, the drive-in movie theater that was on South Boulevard, I think they had just closed that down. It was a lot of stuff that I had saw. It was remnants of the past that I saw when I got there, but I wasn't there to experience it. You see what I'm saying? So I can't imagine how you all feel. I can't. Because your home is gone. It's no more. Charlotte is a city that was built on top of an old city. A new city that was built on top of an old one. And, you know, personally, I don't think this is new for Charlotte. Like when you the you know the Cats bus station, the main hub, on the right hand side when you walk up that parking lot, you can see rails in the parking lot. So you can see where there used to be trolleys. So this whole gentrification and change and the molding and reshaping of Charlotte, I'm pretty sure this is probably its third or fourth time transforming into something different. You know? But you know, this is our era. We're living in it. So it feels as though that it hurts more. You know, I'm no Charlottean, but I have memories of Charlotte just like anyone else would that was born and raised there. Because believe it or not, out of all my life, Charlotte is the place that I've stayed the longest ever in my life. This is my word. You know, I lived there from 2009 all the way up to 2025. All the way up to February is when I left of this year. So I have memories. I had 2 children that were born there. 2. One in Presbyterian Hospital, like right in Uptown. I think that's the name of the hospital. And the other one was born in what is it? Pineville. I think they renamed it, but the Pineville Hospital. You know what I'm saying? My children grew up there. That's what they know. You know, we spent a short time, you know, in Atlanta in between 2009 and 2025. Spent about 2.5 years in Atlanta. You know, it wasn't what we expected. You know, as a family, as a black family, I thought, you know, we was going to go down there and it was going to be on some kumbaya shit. You know what I'm saying? I thought that the blacks down there were going to be like, welcome, welcome. Nah. They was like, who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? So we moved back. And I got so many memories, man. Before the shit really hit the fan, before things got too expensive. Straight up. Before shit got too expensive, man, I got memories of Freedom Park. Got memories of being, before, you know, South End was the way it was, is what it is right now. You know what I'm saying? Prior to that, where there was none of that stuff there that's now. You know what I'm saying? I would go down to South End to this place called Healthy Home Market and get all my stuff in bulk, all herbs, everything that you can imagine that was, you know, healthy for the body. They had alkaline water for sale, all of that shit. Charlotte was like, when I got there, you know, it was really like a hippie type city. Yeah, you had your fair share of violence and stuff like that, but for the most part, people got along. Straight up. And the Charlotteans are some laid back, cool ass motherfuckers, for real. Straight up. Now, if you push them, they can go from 1 to 10, just like that. I've seen it with my own eyes. Don't get on their bad side. As long as you are cool, they'll welcome you in. That's real shit. I've made money in Charlotte, on the streets of Charlotte. You know, whether it was selling my books, selling oils, incense, whatever. So I got memories, man. And I can tell you, I mean, I don't have too many bad memories. Unless you want to talk about recent shit. But in the past, Charlotte was the place to be. Now, It's turned into this big ass corporate city. And if Charlotte had any type of culture, there ain't none now. I remember when the Epic Center opened up. You know what I'm saying? Well, no. Let me take that back. It was already open when I got there. But I'm saying once it was like, you know what I'm saying, just starting out. But once everybody, you know, started going down there, and it was banging. Like the Epic Center was banging at one point in time. And then the CIAA was there. Oh my God. Seeing them beautiful black women and men and just black families. It was just amazing, man. You know, CIAA weekend or a CIAA week, because it was a whole week. Man, to see black people at their best wasn't nothing like it. Wasn't nothing like it. Straight up. Straight up, man. And I can tell you, man, when it comes to Charlotteans, they're strong and they don't take no shit. I remember when they shot and killed CPMD. They unalived a black man. Instead of the Charlotteans going down there and tearing at their own shit, you know what they did? They went to Uptown and they went on Highway 85 and blocked the fucking traffic and 277. Now, some people may say, well, why are you applauding that? And blah, blah, blah. You believe in, no. Don't play me, yo. Don't play me. Because there ain't nobody unalive anybody else. That's not what they did. They protested, and they have a right to protest however the fuck they wanted to protest. Ain't no rules and regulations to protesting. That's the problem. We allow these melanin recessive beings to dictate how we protest. And you all better be glad that's all they did. Was block up Highway 85 and 277 and tear up a little bit of shit in Uptown. That's when I seen that shit, that's when I knew Charlotteans were a special type of group of people. That's real shit. Instead of them tearing up their own shit, they went down and fucked up, you know, the man's shit. But yeah, man, you know what I'm saying? Shit used to be really nice. I remember when Ramere Park opened up. You know, I was there before, while they were in the process of building that area. And then when they opened it up, that shit used to be lit too. People used to just hang out and sit at the park, and it was nice. It was nice, man. And then, kaboom. You know what I'm saying? The whole pandemic happened. And after that, Charlotte ain't never been the same. And I know some of you all are going to say, man, this guy's always complaining. The same shit that he talking about happened in my city. And blah, 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 blah. I don't give a fuck about what happened in your city. I'm talking about mine. That plain and simple. And if it happened in your city, then go to your channel and talk about what happened in your city. That plain and simple. But I'm just glad that I got out of there because, man, I'm pretty sure in the next 2 years, if I ever go back to visit Charlotte, I'm not going to be able to recognize the city. I'm just not. The plans that they had prior to me leaving, it's like, yeah, man, this shit is about to be on some different type shit. You know, for all you people, you know, I'm not being funny, I'm just being real, you know. For all of the people that are just getting by in Charlotte and, you know, you struggling or kind of struggling, yeah, man, you better leave and just move out to the country or something like that. because Charlotte is about to be on some other shit, and you don't want to get caught up in it. Straight up, you don't want your shit to be being put out in front of your house or in front of your apartment complex or whatever, because that's where it's going. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be too expensive to live there for the average person. You're definitely going to have some money in order to live in Charlotte. That's real shit, you know. And I'm just so glad that I got out of there just in time. You know, had I not left when I left, I probably would have been still stuck there, and I would have been struggling right about now. Right about now, all my resources would have been drained, and I would have been messed up in the game. No lie, I'm just gonna be honest. You know what I'm saying? My rent went from originally the 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-story house, garage, front yard, backyard. Originally, when I first moved there, you know, and that's when I came back from Atlanta, and I think it was 2019. You know, that house was $1,435. And when I left, I was paying close to $2,000 a month. So my rent increased $100 or a little bit over $100 every year, each year. And my renewal was coming up. And I think the numbers were $2,140. I was like, nah. Nope, not gonna have it. Not gonna have it. And it's crazy. How do you pay? This is what's so crazy as far as dealing with apartments and dealing with the houses. No matter where you're at in the United States, how is it that the rent increases, but your amenities, repairs that they supposed to do on a house or an apartment, they never change? So it's not even like you're literally paying more for some shit that you had in the first place. It's not like they moved you to a new unit or to a new house. It's not like they added on a bedroom. None of that. Like, you know what, man? Back in the days, I'm going to tell you how old I am. I'm going to show you just how old I am. Back in the days, they would give you a box of cookies and a little apple cider champagne bottle for you signing a lease. When you renew the lease, they'll give you like a gift certificate or some shit like the Bojangles or you know, a fast food restaurant, McDonald's, get $5 off or a free Happy Meal. Not Happy Meal because that's kids, but a free meal or some shit. Something. Nowadays, you renew your lease, they don't say shit. They say, you know what they do? You know what they say? No, seriously, this is what they really say. They be like, all right. Just like that, all right. Like as if they doing you a favor. That shit is crazy, man. That shit is crazy. And let me tell you something. If you all want to get out of a lease, you can. I got out of mine. I don't have no evictions on my credit or none of that shit. I got out of mine. So you can get out of your lease. You know what's the problem with black folks? I'm going to tell you seriously. You don't research. You don't know your rights as a tenant. If you did, then you would know that you can cancel your lease. Now, there's penalties behind it. You got to pay, of course, but you can cancel your lease. And let me tell you something else. For those that are struggling and you don't have any choice right about now, because I do want to give a solution towards that. And you don't have a choice right now, whether you're struggling with your rent, whether you're struggling with a light bill, whether you're struggling with a water bill or whatever, you can go to this place called Urban Ministries. I think that's what it's called. Urban Ministries. It's in Uptown. And they can help you out with that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not ashamed or embarrassed to say that when I was in my time of need in Charlotte, I went there and they helped me out. Straight up. Now, I haven't been to them as of recently. It's been some years since I've been to them. But when I went, I probably went about 3 times. Like, one time I needed help with my water bill, they paid for it. Another time I needed help with my light bill, they paid for it. And then another time, I think it was, I was short on my rent. Yeah, I was short on my rent. And they were like, well, what do you have? And I was like, well, you know, I have this. And they were like, all right, if you got that, then we'll give you the rest. But as far as dealing with Urban Ministries, you have to prove to them that you're working, you know, and basically that, like, you're not full of shit, that you're not using them, you know, as a come up, that you really need help, because there are people that are there that need help. But they'll help you out with your water bill, your light bill, rent. And it doesn't make a difference where you live at. You know what I'm saying? You could live in Ballantyne, South Park, anywhere in Mecklenburg County. They'll help you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're struggling or whatever have you, don't be embarrassed or ashamed to get help. Especially when, I'm telling you, especially when there's help available. I am not embarrassed. You see, this is the problem with black people, man. We got this whole fucking thing about, you know, pride. And you know how far pride gets you? No, it doesn't get you anywhere. Especially when you need help. If you need help, get it. It's that plain and simple. Yo, I've had with EBT. I've had EBT. When I was in Charlotte, I had it for about a year or two. When I was in Charlotte and I needed the help, I got the help. But when I no longer needed it, then I let it go. But I don't have no problem with, ain't no shame in my game, man. None. Cause see, the thing of it is when I'm telling you this shit is heartfelt. This shit is heartfelt. This is coming from my heart, man, for real. When you serving dinner and you putting them plates on the table, them children don't want pride on that fucking table. They want food on it. For real. Fuck, I got an image to uphold. Keep your head up and take your ass somewhere to get some fucking help. Fuck everybody else. And that's real shit. I don't pay attention to people. I just don't. I look out for me and mine. And let me tell you something. If I was ever in the dilemma again, no matter where I'm at, if they're willing to help me, I'm going to take it. That's real shit. People so caught up in this image and oh yeah, you know, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And in reality, you really crying in the inside. You really crying in the inside. Because there's places like Charlotte, Atlanta, Jacksonville, Florida, Miami, Orlando, Houston, Dallas, Los Angeles, Austin, Texas. These major cities, Chicago, these major cities, New York City, major cities, people, black people are suffering. You ain't got to live in these major cities. You better take your ass out into the country. You don't have to leave the country like I did, you know. Go live in the country where it's cheaper. But if you refuse to do that, then hey, listen, you got to suffer the consequences. But there's help. There's help. You just got to reach out. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, it's one of the best decisions that I ever made to leave Charlotte. Because I knew just where it was going. Straight up. And hey, it is what it is. Much respect to the people, to the Charlotteans, the people that make Charlotte. For real. The old Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I got memories. Johnson C. Smith Homecomings. Yo, I'm out.